We pulled this bed up. This is where the kale was that all of those worms were in. So we pulled that up and gave it to the chickens. This is the last of my sad little sunflowers. Well, no, they're not so sad. I didn't know they got more than one bloom on a... I need to stake them up somehow. Because I didn't know that more than one flower would grow on a single stalk. But I have quite a few of them. I didn't know they did this. So I'm going to try to stand them up some kind of way. There's more down there. They get so heavy and they fall over. They were pretty too. This is a, these are ornamental. So they're not going to give sunflower seeds for eating or anything. But I have seen very pretty birds coming over to peck at them. So that was this bed here. But this is two of my okra plants. I forget the variety, but they put off, like, if you can see that one in there. Let's see. They put off this sort of red okra. I haven't tasted these yet. It's another one coming on here. But I know they get these pretty flowers on them. Very pretty blooms. The basil's doing very well. And it looks like the parsley, I guess that's dying out. This is just everything that was still in here. The borage came in and went crazy. These died. Those died. This is all that's left. Looks like these are trying to make a little comeback, these little pansies here. But the other purple plants I had in here died. I'm going to prune this peach tree at the beginning of next year. I don't know if you're supposed to do it in spring or fall. I think spring. So I'll prune it at the beginning of the year. There's some weeds growing here that I'm gonna have to move, but this is my fig tree. It's taken off this year. It was just a teeny little stick like that when I put it in last year, and it's finally got leaves on it. So at some point I'm gonna have to repot it and put it into a bigger plant. And these are my mammoth sunflowers that are growing here. They can get, I mean, over 8 feet tall, and the heads, which are finally starting to form, I see them up there, those will be bigger than a human head. Like, they're huge, they're ginormous. So we'll see what happens with those. I tried them last year and a storm knocked them over, so I don't know. We'll see what happens this year. And lavender comes and goes, and this is during a come period. Oh, hello, Mr. Bee. See the bee on there. And more borage. I need to harvest some. And this is another of the red okra that I planted. I think it just got a little crowded out over here, but it still looks like it's trying to put off a little piece of fruit there. And let's come down here. Oh, those Japanese beetles. This was a pink grapevine. I forget the name, but it's supposed to put off a pink grape, and the Japanese beetles just completely decimated it. And this empty space here, once upon a time, was a huge weed. I thought it was the start of an echinacea plant, because I had planted several echinacea seeds in here. These two are transplanted from last year. I brought them from the other part of the garden out here. And this one's new. This one here is new. That's one that I planted from seed. And so I thought this one that was growing here was echinacea too, but it was just a huge weed. It was just a huge weed. But the echinacea is doing really nice. I've harvested some and I'm drying it to make a tea. And the ground cherries are, I think they're on their last leg. They're on their way out. Mint. It's been really slow to take off. I'm not sure why. Looks like this one's finally starting to spread out underground. The plant itself didn't grow taller. It looks like it's sending out some shoots under the soil finally. Oh, this one. Oh, these are past time to be picked. You see that okra? That's too big, I think. I think that one got too big. And so did that one there. I'll be out in a second to pull those off. And another flower. So pretty. And we pulled up the kale that was here too, because those same worms were in it. And this is my elderberry bush. I have to plant another one next year because they say you need two if you want it to be prolific. And I planted this here is what it came, a bare root, and I thought it was dead. Are those some sort of eggs or some sorts? Oh, nature is so beautiful and nature is so gross. But yeah, I thought it was dead. And then these started coming up. So I think it grows from its roots, like it sends up new plants from underground. That's how it spreads and that's how it grows. And the stick is still just sitting there. I actually pulled it up because I thought it was dead and it had green roots coming off of it. So I put it back in. And I guess we're gonna make our way back up. Corn is growing. I don't know, I think they're still kind of small compared to other people's corn that I've seen this time of year. But most of them are further south, so maybe that matters, I don't know. But we definitely have some ears forming there. And sweet potatoes, look, covered in those beetles. Look at that. Look at that. They just destroy everything. This is once upon a time where that squash, all my squash and zucchini was, and the squash bugs got them, and that's what's left. So we need to pull those up. This was a cucumber plant. Look, they're growing so weird too. But I thought it was squash when I planted it and couldn't figure out why it was vining. And then we saw cucumbers growing on it. But I think this is about done too. I think I heard this morning somewhere that cucumber plants don't do too well in extreme heat. And it's been pretty hot, so I think it's safe to say these are all done. The cucumbers are starting to look weird. But it was cute while it lasted. This is the Malabar spinach. And it didn't take off like I thought it would. But it's starting to get the berries on it, or the blooms that'll lead to the berries. And see, it has like this waxy texture to it. The leaves are pretty thick. And the leaves themselves actually aren't slimy. But when you chew that sucker, oh my gosh, a mouthful of slime is so gross. And they don't taste good enough to be worth it, honestly. So, I mean, I'll grow it again, but just as an ornamental, just something pretty, because I like, you know, stuff growing over top of my trellises. Oh, look, something got to this. This was a pepper plant. Looks like a hornworm. That looks like the work of a hornworm. I don't see any in here. But that looks like the work of a hornworm. I mean, it just stripped it. I don't know that these peppers are going to get any bigger. They've been hanging out looking like that for a while. So, no, maybe it's safe to go ahead and pick them. These plants are looking pretty sad. I don't know if the weather's just getting too hot, because I know Nate's in here watering them every day. But they're still producing. It's just they're looking pretty sad. So we're going to pull off some of these. like that green one back there so I can fry it too. So I have all of these tomatoes. Tomato is too heavy. It's too heavy for me to carry while I try the vlog here. But I'll just give this. Brandon doesn't like these. Just give this final. Look at this jungle. He's gonna come in and mow this down again. We're trying to find solutions for taming this. Like, do we just let it go? We're thinking about putting some like paths in here, like with concrete pavers and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, he's gonna try to mow it down right now. Cause it's scary. It's actually scary in here. But these were my pole beans that we're trellising up over top of this here, and they're just loaded. I mean, they were looking so beautiful, and then those Japanese beetles got in here, you can see, and just decimated. We picked some string beans off this morning, but I mean, these beetles they're claiming it as their own, and it's destroy everything they touch. I think it's time to pull the bush beans up and maybe plant some more. I don't know if it's too late or not. And this is crazy. Oh, look at the butterfly. These are the echinacea plants, and this was actually bee balm. I don't know if a storm got to them or what, but they just got heavy and fell over. So after this year, I'll cut them back, and then next year focus more on trying to find a way to help them stay upright. But the bees and the butterflies, love them. I mean, this isn't Brandon's favorite place because it's just bees everywhere. But like, bees are my besties. Like, I see them now, and I'm so happy seeing, so that means they're pollinating my garden. And over here on the other side of this fencing here, which we're still trying to figure out what to do with, those are the Japanese sweet potatoes. This heat is just, as quickly as they can get watered, the heat is just sucking all the moisture up. And this is the end of the blackberries. So this year I'll prune these out. And then this super crazy tall one that's coming over the top of the trellis here is it's gonna need something taller for next year. But that'll be next year's cane that'll put off fruit. And it's just a mixture of weeds and black raspberries. The end of these raspberries here. And this bee balm here is dying out. The petals are dying off. But the bees really enjoy it. They really, really enjoy it. And this is my mint and strawberry patch gone crazy. It's strawberries in there, and I can't even get to them. It's actually strawberries growing in places that I can't even get to because it's just so crazy in here. So I really need to prune this. This is the asparagus that'll die back this year. I should be able to harvest some next year because I harvested a few this year and they were so good. And the mint, I just let the mint go crazy, and then I just cut them, just clip some. I might take some in this evening. clip them and take them in and dry them. And then put them in a jar, and I have peppermint tea. So the mint doesn't bother me going crazy like this. I just let it, and then I just cut it. And these are my blueberries, which are getting taller. Now I know they will get as tall as like that peach tree there. That small one there, they get about that tall there. So I think I still have a year or two. We still have a year or two before they're going to give us anything, before they're going to produce. And this is pretty much it for now.